So in our real-time cases, how do we handle the Kubernetes scaling, right? So basically the scaling in the Kubernetes is usually about adding or managing more number of pods to handle more traffic or reducing the pods to save cost when the traffic is low. For example, here we had horizontal scaling. So this particular horizontal pod autoscaler so adds more number of pods, add or remove the more number of pods based upon CPU, memory, or a custom matrix. So this will be helpful in auto scaling the pods, that means increase or a decrease in the number of pod counts. And whereas this particular vertical pod auto scaling, so this particular thing will increase or decrease the pod resources like CPU or RAM. The vertical pod autoscaler will increase CPU or RAM services. Or whereas a horizontal, based upon the CPU and the memory, it will increase the count in the pods. And whereas we had this cluster autoscaler. So if your node, for example, if your node where you are deploying the respective pods are full, and the Kubernetes can add more number of nodes automatically. In a Azure Kubernetes service, we had a built-in cluster autoscaler. So this is particular service we specifically use in a situation like, for example, if there is a pods required, but in your node there is no space, it automatically add one more VM towards a cluster and creates the pods there. Later, what are the strategies that we are going to use to manage these stateful applications in a Kubernetes? So what are these particular stateful applications? Because generally these particular stateful applications means the application which we are going to maintain along with our front-end service, where we are going to maintain a databases or a storages or the respective service. And here we had some of a persistent data that cannot just remove. And using this stateful sets, we are going to maintain these stateful application. In general case, we would like to go for deployments. To maintain your application, we will be going deployments. But to maintain this stateful application, we will be going for stateful sets.